Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching. Welcome to 10 Ways to Get Your Phone to Ring during COVID-19 and after. Actually, this will work after, too.
It will.
So let me make sure that we are set. Can you do me a favor? Thank you. Awesome. We'll go back. We'll go forward. My clicker is working, so we can get started.
Yes.
Let's see. It's a myth. You're going to hear a bunch of myths that you have to get out of the box to do stuff. Honestly, there's some really cool stuff that's inside the box. Some of the things that you will hear maybe out of the box to you, but they're kind of in our box. So I think it depends on the box.
It probably does depend on the box.
So we're gonna play. Make sure you're taking notes. If you have questions, Sharon already shared. You can put them into the chat or hold them to the end. In which case, we'll take you out of Q&A mode, and we can actually have a discussion, which is going to get you better results. We noticed several months ago. Have you noticed that our world has changed?
Just a smidge.
What really happened was that we're going through something that most of us have not gone through before. It isn't the fact that we went into a recession, because that has happened, and a lot of you that are on this call have probably had a business during the last one, 07, 08. But for those of us with Econ degrees, we looked at it and said, my goodness, this expansion has gone for a very long time. We're due. And the question was it going to be toward the end of 2020 or during 2021? That was very much the question. So COVID kind of sped that up. Thanks, COVID, which means we'll get through it faster because, we got into it earlier. Huh. But there's a pandemic going on, and that's very unusual to say the word. We haven't done this before. So if you took your high school biology class and you read that chapter on Charles Darwin talking about his book Origin of Species, his comment was it isn't always the strongest or the most intelligent of the species that survive. It's the ones that are adaptable. And that applies to business as well. What's really cool is that as a small business, you are far more adaptable and able to pivot than most large businesses. Fortune has their list called the Fortune 500. It started in 1955, but over 80% of those businesses are gone, which means they weren't able to pivot. They were big, and some of them were smart, but they weren't able to adapt quickly enough. So here's what we're going to talk about: creating your target message. A bunch of ways. Actually, there's 11 ways. If you can, we have a bonus at the end. There is a bonus. Yep.
You do like bonuses, right?
Yeah, I tossed a bonus slide in there yesterday.
Excellent.
Your next steps and how we're going to give you some free stuff at the end, including on your screen you see it's discover 10 ways you can. Can you read that title? I can't read it across the room.
Oh, 10 ways. Discover 10 proven ways.
There you go.
You can take right now to get your business found online in it says in a post, but during this COVID environment.
Yep. So
you don't need to wait till post.
We'll give you that free at the end. In fact, we'll give you one of our books too. We'll figure out how to get that to you as well. We already talked about questions a little bit. If you have them, there are two ways you can do it. You can hold them. I looked at my calendar, and we are after this. I'm actually clear for an hour and a half afterwards, so I could just sit here and answer questions over and over and over till 1 o'clock Pacific. So we're good. If you want to hold them, if you have any marketing questions that have nothing to do with today's topic, we'll be happy to answer those for you. Or you can type them into the chat because Sharon's got that going.
I do.
Yes. Just a little about us. We did 243 episodes of a podcast called The Marketing Checklist. We stopped that late last year. We thought we would take a couple of months and then start again. Turns out we didn't start till last week. And on the next slide, I'll tell you what we did with that and how that affects you and what can be done really well. How you can use it. We've been interviewed by A.B.C.'s Secret Millionaire, James Miller, and one of the original sharks on Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. We do a small business breakthrough bootcamp a couple of times a year. The next ones are coming up in September. They're all virtual now. We usually have 50 people in a ballroom in 3 different cities in 3 different weeks. We're not doing that this time. We're doing it twice, and we're doing it virtually. So
yes,
yeah. And we have an online marketing program called the Small Business Marketing Plan. It's at thesmallbusinessmarketingplan.com if you want to see what that is. Now, here's what we're doing with our podcast. We've decided to make it all interviews all the time. They're 7-minute, 21-second interviews where we interview you, the business leader, about what makes you successful and how you have. The cool thing about that is you can use it to then share with your prospects. Say, hey, I was just interviewed. Check this out. And it's all about you and why you're awesome. If you want to apply to be on it, send an email to info@ulofcreative. It's on the slide, and I bet it's in the chat.
I am typing it right now.
We'll send you the questions. We give everybody the exact same questions. You answer them, and that's how we figure out if we can invite you on the show. So there you go. In fact, note to myself, I have to post the next. We launched it the 21st, and it's time to put in another episode. So I'm just putting that there. I'll do. We have 6 different books that have been bestsellers. The latest one is The Marketing Checklist for Sales, and we've got a couple more that are coming up. So let's get into it. First thing that you have to do is show why you are different. A lot of marketing folks call this your unique selling proposition, and that's really nice. But yeah, you do have to show why you're different. And here's how, the best way to do that is to understand that we, us, we can't sell to everybody. We shouldn't try. Not everyone goes to Walmart, the largest retailer in the country. Not everybody drives a Toyota. Not everybody drives a Mercedes. We pick and choose the products that we think relate to us. Some people might like Pepsi. I happen to be a Diet Coke kind of guy. Why? Don't know. Tastes and preferences. My first economics professor used to tell us, tastes and preferences are what's going to determine almost everything that happens in the process of somebody buying. We had a situation, you and I, actually, this wasn't Sharon and I, this is you and I, where we used to, in the sales process, you would answer, why you, question 1, why not a competitor, in general. And there was always a third question. And what has happened during this time period is that third question has to be answered first. And it's the why buy it all? You probably saw, let's use Domino's Pizza as an example. If you watched their ads in January, they were talking about, 2 pizzas, $5.99 medium, so there was a price factor, and there was also our ingredients are great, so they were talking about a great pizza, great price. COVID hit, and all of a sudden we're locked in our houses and wondering, okay, I really would like a pizza, but there has to be that person coming to my door. So they had to jump over the argument, why do I really want a pizza that badly? Enter contactless delivery. And you're seeing that all over now. You can even get a car with contactless delivery from, what is it, Carvana, I think.
Yeah.
The car dealers, those folks have pivoted and shown why they're different. And it isn't right now mileage and horsepower and such. It's opening their 2007, 2008 recession playbook and saying, people will still buy cars in an economic downturn if they don't have money, they don't have to put money out just, in advance. So showing them why you're different is changing. Your market has probably changed. What you're doing, you have to look at who you're selling to and why they're going to buy from you right now. So showing them why you're different is really, really important. And to help you do that, at the end, we're going to give you 30 minutes of time. If you'd like us to help you figure that out, we're going to give you a way to do that. Because we can't invest 30 minutes with each of you right now to do it, so we'll do it afterwards. Number 2, set up an affiliate program. Sharon, what's an affiliate program?
So you've probably heard of referral programs, right?
Yeah.
You refer someone to us. You say, hey, I told Joe to call you. Joe hires us. We pay you. Referral program. An affiliate program is the same thing, but it's an online program. So you, instead of telling us that Joe is going to call us, instead you say, hey, I would like to be an affiliate. We send you a link. You sign up. It gives you a unique link specifically for you. You send that link out via your email to your contacts. Hey, you should go hire them. Click this link. That link is coded to you. So when Joe hires us from that link, he clicks the link, he buys a package. We know it's for you. We pay you. So it's the same thing. It's just instead of you calling us or emailing us and doing it in that manner, it's more automated.
Yep. We have a client that is a dentist that wanted to generate more referral business. So we set up an affiliate program for her where her clients, all of her patients, if they sent out an email, they got 2 points for every person they sent it to. If they gave her a review, a video review on her website, they got, I think it's 100 points. If they got one of their friends to walk in the door, it was 300 points. And we set this list for X amount of points you could trade them for. Now, some of it was dental work, and others were just prizes. She did, movie passes and all sorts of things like that. So setting up an affiliate program can be, you don't have to do it using links, but you can. We suggest it. That way each person gets kind of locked in. I think Amazon offers a way to do this for nonprofits, don't they? Where a nonprofit can sign up and they can send out their link, and then if somebody's going to go to Amazon, you go through the other link.
Well, Amazon doesn't. They used to have a really good affiliate program where you could set up that link, and anytime someone bought it on went to you. The Smile program that Hank's thinking of isn't actually an affiliate program. It's something that you could do if you have a favorite nonprofit. Then you tell Amazon, I want a portion of what I pay on your site, Amazon, to go to that nonprofit. So the nonprofit doesn't actually do it. You do it yourself, and it's smile.amazon.com.
So there are a lot of different ways we're trying to show you to set up an affiliate program or a referral program. Here's why this becomes out of the box. We all know about referrals, but so few of us actually set up and officially tell our clients, hey, you know what? I'd like to give you a bonus added. I'd like to give you a value added. We strongly suggest you don't discount your product cost because of it, but do find that bonus. Just like our dentist said, that she added dental services. I think the first one she used was a fluoride treatment. For her, it cost her literally. Did you know that the dentist for that fluoride treatment, their cost is like $1 or something? I mean, it's virtually nothing. And her labor costs are even fixed because her people she's already paying them to be there. So there are things that you can do that cost you very little. Here's an example. On our Facebook page right now, our You Love Creative Facebook page, our personal pages, we offer a daily contest, and it's really simple. All you have to do is look and see if your name is there, and if your name is there, you get one of our books. And what we've done is told our clients, hey, share this out with people, and we always ask, how did you find out about us, and we give them free stuff. Oh, it's time to I want to make sure this is, be ready for your close-up. Did you know that your phone has a video camera?
I did know that.
Yep. When you're on your social media pages and when you're doing your blogs, here's what we strongly suggest. All of the different platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter doesn't have it yet. Instagram, they have a lot what they call live.
Right.
Where
they used to have Periscope.
Yeah, and Twitter is playing with something else. We heard about it on their blog page, but they're still in beta. So when you're doing a post, we would suggest that you are doing your post as an offer. You introduce yourself. Hi, hey, this is Hank and Sharon. We're doing our Facebook Live, and I'll tell you how we do it. Used to be, remember when we used to travel? We would go from Arizona, because we live in Sedona, to LA every month. We were doing live events in LA every single month. And as we crossed the Arizona border, we would do a Facebook Live. And the concept was, hey, we're coming to your town. We're going to party down. We're an American band. Name the band in the chat, and you get a book. And we would tell people what we were going to talk about, where we were going to do it, and even if the company that hired us to speak was charging, how to get a free ticket. But they had to call us, or they had to send us a message to get on the list. And the goal there was to get people used to interacting with us so that they could get a free seat. That's why you want to use your video, is that getting people used to finding your video and getting information is important. Now here's the key part. Every time we do that live and we're offering something, we're also giving content. So we would, start out where we are, as we're a mile away from the border. Hey everybody, here we are, we're coming to LA, this is where we're talking. Oh, by the way, we're crossing the Colorado River, so here's the river. Then we would do our standard joke, hey, guess what, there's traffic as soon as you enter California. Because there's a checkpoint right inside the border, so we knew there would be traffic. We would then give a couple of marketing tips, announce where we were going to speak again, and how you can get your ticket. So we have our basic little script all set, but it's not difficult. We're using our phones and the cameras on our phones to do this. Video is being used more and more and more. If you went back to 2016, what's her name?
Nicola Mendelsohn.
She's one of the VPs for Facebook, was being interviewed at International Day for Women, and they said, what's coming up? She said, well, within 5 years, most of your feed on Facebook is going to be video. That wasn't because Facebook decided it. It's because millennials and Ys and Zs they've grown up with these devices in their hands. Some of you are in those demos. You have an advantage. You grew up with this in your hand. You know how to use it better than boomers and most older folk. And the point there is that since those generations are using them more, see Snapchat, see TikTok, more videos just being used. And if you are not comfortable using the video on your devices, you're going to be left behind. But video is now a complete in-the-box tool. Did you know that 2/3 of people would prefer to get their information by video instead of reading? Now, I'm not in that. I'm the one that the textbooks were written for, because I like to be able to go back a couple of pages easily. But sometimes I have to use video. When we stopped doing our podcast, we took all of this down because we were using this room for a different purpose. And then when we decided to start doing it again, I had to set it all up. Now we've got a mixer board here. I didn't take pictures of how to set it up before I took it out. So I had to find a video that taught me how to do it. And it took me 5 videos to find the exact video that I needed for this model with all of the cords in the right place so that we knew you were going to hear us properly. The manual didn't do it. So I was very happy that there was a video that showed me how to do it. And what's cool is, here's the other part of it. The guy who did the video, I actually invested $7 or $8, I think it was, to buy his course, because he had a course on something completely different. I said, you know what, that information was worth it, so I invested the $8. Wouldn't have found it if he wasn't used to doing videos and putting that out in the world. So I was willing to pay for the info. So get used to using that. Your retail business, I can't see the other. Can you read that?
Is flyering above your competitors.
Yeah. Print is not dead. Direct mail is not dead. The U.S. Postal Service has a program called Every Door Direct Mail. All of the information, and we'll make sure that I'm on the right page, all of the information is on USPS.gov. Just look for the EDDM program. They tell you the size that your mail-in can be. It's a postcard. But what's really cool, if you sell in a geographic area, you can choose down to the exact mail route where your mail is going to go. You can pick, if you're a retail store, all the areas around your store. For example, if you're a dry cleaner watching this, you know that 90% of your business comes from within 3 miles of your store. If you're a restaurant, generally 20, within I almost said 20 miles, within 10 miles, over half your business comes from there. So you can choose the areas that you want to work with. If you're a home improvement site. Let's say that you sold windows. Let's say you were Bel Air Interiors with Larry Cohen. He could choose the neighborhoods that he wants to install windows in, and he can pick the exact mail carriers where his mailer goes to. And again, all of the rules are on the USPS.gov website. And once you have the rules, your local printer. In fact, if you're in, most of the people watching this is a score presentation from LA. MaryThePrinter.com, M-A-R-Y, the printer. She's a local printer in LA. She knows all of the specs, and she can help you, design and print that out for you, for your company. So this is a great way of doing direct mail. Now, I'm going to give you another way that we use direct mail. We have a list of people that have come across us. They've asked for information. They've gotten a free 30 minutes with us, and so they're on our list. Right now during COVID, we've set up a mailing list. I think it's about 75 are on this one particular mailing list, and periodically we are mailing out 2 or 3 of our blogs. We're putting a promotional product in there so that the envelope is a little bit bulky. And what's happening is we're getting business from it because they may be at home a lot, but they're still checking their mail. On the outside we put gift enclosed because there is a gift enclosed. Now, we're not putting sales flyers in there. It's information they can use. It's not buy our stuff, buy our stuff, buy our stuff. I think in the one that's about to go out, they're going to get a flyer that talks about all of our free programs and a couple of our coaching programs. But it's not all just buy my stuff. There's a social media cheat sheet in there, and how to use video and certain blogs to use. So for about $1, it's $1 in postage, and the promo product we're using is about $1. So for about $2 or so, we're able to do a mailing to people that are on our warm list. So if you have your warm list, this would be a good time to do direct mail to them, because it isn't dead by any stretch. And yeah, it costs postage. I understand that. But you're physically putting something into somebody's hand for, in our case, it's $1 because it's a bulky envelope. The fact that I can have a government agency deliver something to a lot of people really inexpensively compared to me driving there and delivering it is still a really great deal. From our mailings, we've already gotten a couple of clients from doing these mailings. So once again, it's been proven to us that direct mail is a great marketing tool. Okay, it's time we mentioned millennials before. It's time to fall in love with them. They are the youngest millennials are in their mid-20s. The oldest are in their 30s. They have awesome buying power right now. They're going to be the largest generation yet. There's millions and millions and millions of them. You see the numbers there. What's awesome for you is that, and I'm going to talk to my boomers and you're a Gen
X.
I always forget it, and Gen Xers for a second. We boomers, Xers, we made a mistake, and a lot of our compatriots are still making this mistake. They're picking on millennials. Stop it. They're no longer teenagers. You know, they're a full-fledged. They're owning businesses. They're making buying decisions. So it's really important that you connect with them and understand how their minds are working. You know, they very much want to make a difference in what they're doing. When we look at all of the excellent things about them, see, I love this. They're not necessarily in their workplace. They're not necessarily looking to stay in one place, and I think that as a generation, they're going to do some amazing things for our world. They have an outlook on the world that's incredible, and I think that to the disadvantage of a lot of business owners, they're not catering and making sure that their programs work for millennials. So be there. Ooh, here we go. Can you do it here? Can you do this slide? Because that is social distance away from me.
So this says how to market to millennials, and even I need to move some things around so I can see the full right side.
Hi, Cindy Chrisette. I see you bounced in there. Cindy, you're a client. You ought to just text me your question if you
put it in the chat. So how to market to millennials. So offer a variety of digital wallet payment options, especially during this COVID time, right? People are not carrying cash. They don't want to interact with you that way. They want to be able to use their smart device to be able to tap. Okay? Marketing campaigns should focus on social media. This probably is no big surprise to you. And promotional materials must be mobile friendly, right? 54% of millennials use their mobile device to research products and services. And then on the far right of your screen is what influences their buying decision. So I know it's a little hard to read. 75% of millennials would only use a brand if they gave something back to their community. So what nonprofit, right? We talked about nonprofits earlier. What nonprofit are you affiliated with? What's a cause that speaks to you? And share that. Don't keep it a secret. 52% said that relevant social media ads influence them to buy. So relevant, right? This is one of the things that we talk about a lot is who's your ideal client and what's the message to attract them, right? Picture your favorite clients, your most profitable clients, and literally picture them sitting across your desk from you when you create ads and blogs and social media posts. Really speak directly to them, and it will attract more people like them. 33% get influenced by blogs before making a purchasing decision. Right? We just talked about blogs. So yes, blog. Talk about things that are important in your industry and how that affects your ideal clients and customers as well.
And we do our blogs in video and in written form. If you want to see how we format ours, if you go to ulofcreative.com and just click on the blog, you'll see that our blogs each have a video and then the written version underneath.
And 3% are influenced by traditional media like TV news. Only 3%.
All right, a couple of important things here. This webinar is titled "How to Get the Phone to Ring." Your website very much has to be mobile friendly. It has to be responsive. And here's what's really funny. I've stopped counting the number of times we go to a website to check out. Someone will say, "Hey, can you check out my website and tell me what you think?" And we get there, and their phone number isn't right on the front page. You have to click the contact button to get there first. So your phone number has to be in the upper right-hand corner of your website. got to be, because half the searches are being done on a phone, and your phone has to be able to, you have to be able to just touch your phone number and have it be ready to dial you. If you want your phone to ring, we have to make it really easy for people. The easier we can make it for them, the better, which is why on all of your social media pages, you should have your phone number there as well. We want to make it as easy as possible. And some people say, yeah, but if my phone number and my email are there, I'm going to get sales solicitations. Yeah, I understand you will, but you're going to get far more business coming through it than
if it's not there.
Yeah.
If you're thinking that that someone is going to look at your social media and see your website and then go to your website to find your phone number, they're not going to. They're just not.
Yep.
They'd have to be really, 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 really motivated to do that. But if your phone number is right there on your social media, then they are far more likely to just pick up the phone and call you.
Yep. So one of the best ways to get your phone to ring is to make it really easy for people to get your phone. And if you're using a phone number that it's like a vanity number, for example, every one of our phone numbers, our toll free is 800-705-HANK. My cell phone is 731-HANK. If you're using letters, make sure that every time you give it out, you put the numbers there with it, like the 4265. For example, Mary the printer, it's 562 Peacock. But every time she puts that out, she also puts the numbers underneath.
Don't make your people work hard.
Yeah, we don't want to piss people off. We want to make it easy for them to remember your number, but we don't want to make them work that hard. One other thing, you mentioned nonprofits. One of the things that we do to help get the phone to ring for our online product is every time a company invests in the smallbusinessmarketingplan.com, the nonprofit of their choice gets a free copy. So is there a way that you can use that same thing that we're doing? Is there something that you can offer to your customers, to the nonprofit of their choice, that shows that you want to give back? It gives them one more reason to want to pick you compared to a competitor. Remember the first one, you want to stand out. So every time that someone comes on board with that online marketing program, their nonprofit gets access to it as well. So, and understand that we don't choose the nonprofit they get to. We think and we promote to our clients, as business owners, we kind of need to give back to our communities because they are keeping us in business. So find the nonprofit. This is me on a soapbox. Make sure you find a nonprofit of your choice. Support it. It doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it does give back to your world. All right. This is one that when we get to number 6, rarely have people done this one. At least until we give you an example of what this really is. Have you ever heard of Black Friday? It's the cash machine. It's when you need to generate cash. Southwest Airlines, and these ads are pre-COVID, but they're still doing it. When they need to generate cash, they will look at, all right, which routes are not busy? Where do we need to sell tickets? And they put a select number of things totally on sale. They would rather the plane go, with over half capacity than under half capacity. Hotels do this also. You want to here's the purpose and the steps. It's going to have to be a really amazing sale. Here's an example. When we launch a book, the retail price on the book is $14.95. You could go to Amazon right now and get the marketing checklist, the marketing checklist 2, our social media book. You can get them for $14.95 a piece, plus shipping. When we launch a new book, we offer it for 99 cents, and we give a whole bunch of other stuff. We talk to some of our friends and say, look, is there something, you sell a different product to our same target market, is there something you want to give out? And we've had doctors say, yeah, sure, I'll do a free, free assessment of, and I don't want to get into that part of it, a free assessment of that particular part of their body, mental. We've had therapists that have given away a, discovery session for, hypnotherapy. We have had financial planners that say, yeah, you can give away my report how to choose a financial planner right. So we'll create this really large package of stuff, and for 99 cents they get the book and this huge package of stuff. Now in this case, the goal is to get to bestseller status. We know we have to sell a whole lot of books to get bestseller status. We've done it 6 times, but we know that it will work. We only do it for a few days, 4 days to be exact, and the bonuses are there. What we've also done when we send this out, sometimes we will send the offer out. Here the sale's coming, and yeah, we do tell them over and over. But then we start sweetening the pot as we get closer to the time point, and I would suggest you start like a week before. We'll say, hey, by the way, you also get this bonus just for the heck of it, and here's another, here's another bonus. By the way, this is coming. If we have people that have, in this case, read our book, or if you have had people that really love what you do, you want to share those testimonials at the time. So this is how you can get your cash machine working. We do this during Black Friday time for the Small Business Breakthrough Bootcamp. Excuse me, Small Business Marketing Plan. If you want to invest in that, give you a hint, the best time to do it is during Black Friday because that's when the best sale is. We do the once a year thing. It's like really, 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 Have we figured out what we're doing for this year?
No.
I think last year we did it for $197. I think this year we were talking about doing it for like $97 for something that's normally $1,200. So, wow, just killed sales for that until November. But that's how we do it. It's a great way to get a lot of people using your services. Have a referral day. I love referral day. Referral day is so cool. This doesn't necessarily mean referrals for you. The law of reciprocity means as the more you cast out, the more that will come to you. Here's the process. Tell the people on your list, referral day, here's where it's coming. Who's your target? Who's your favorite client? We call her Harriet. Come to almost any one of our other webinars, and you'll understand why we call her Harriet. How can we send you referrals? And our job that day is to go through our list and match people up. This is what these people want. Okay, this person they could use that, so let's refer. They need that, and we do a referral day. If you can get a few other business people on board that are willing to do it the same day as you, so you're all sharing who your Harriet is, who your favorite target is for the day, and everyone goes through their list at the same time. You're going to have to remind these folks over and over and over, just so you get a lot of things to give out. Now this helps if you have, this is really good if you have a list that you haven't, let's talk about rubber band marketing.
Okay.
You haven't played with your list in a while. You went to some event and you got a whole bunch of business cards that you were going to follow up with, and you put a rubber band around it and you put it on your desk so that when you're ready to do that, when you have some free time, you'll go through it, right? But if you're like me, you probably still have a stack of cards that are in the rubber band. This is a really good time to go back to them and say, hey, I'm about to have a referral day. What kind of referrals would you need? Because I'm going to go through my list. So you're facilitating a whole lot of networking going on. Does that make sense? Cool. And you definitely want to promote this all over your social media that referral day is coming. Personalize their experience. You like this one.
In moderation. Everything in moderation.
Do you want to talk about this one?
Sure. You're probably getting used to seeing emails.
Thank you.
Sure. With your name in them, usually in the subject line, sometimes in the body as well. But websites are starting to do this as well. They're starting to recognize when you have come back to their site. Maybe not the first time you go to their site, but when you come back to their site.
Amazon is awesome at that.
You're starting to see a different version of the site if you're returning than if you've been there before.
You know what's really fun?
No.
Because we set up the YouTube channels for several clients.
Yes.
And we go through Google. When I go, if I'm like, let's say I'm on this like Edge as opposed to Firefox or.
Oh, okay. So different browsers.
That's it. If I'm on a different browser, if I click Amazon as somebody else, I get a very different screen.
Yes.
It's amazing. In fact, Cindy is on this call. You know, Cindy, when I set up your YouTube channel, you and I see very different Amazons. It's a mid-30s millennial compared to somebody older. We get very different Amazons.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. And as far as language, if you can give someone the option what language they want to see your site in, all the better.
Now, if you don't speak that language, it doesn't matter. It's kind of, yeah.
It doesn't matter. They can choose the language that works for them, whether or not you speak that language it's not relevant. It's personal to the viewer, not to the creator of the website.
You can overdo it.
Well, yes, you can. Especially in email, it's really easy to overdo, right? If you have the subject line, like I just sent out a reminder about this webinar to folks that asked to be notified about our webinars, and it usually has the first name. Hey, Cindy, would you like to come to our last webinar of the month? And in the body, if I had also, hey there, Cindy, and then Cindy, the webinar is starting in 30 minutes. I hope to see you there, Cindy. If I kept doing it, then it wouldn't be as personal. It would feel contrived.
Would you like to come to our webinar, Cindy? Because Cindy, it's going to have all sorts of really cool information, Cindy. Some of it, Cindy, you're going to love. Oh, Cindy, especially this one little thing that we're going to cover.
Yeah. So don't do that.
What's even worse is that here's the warning for this. If you do it, but you don't let your CRM system or know that you have to put the name in, it's going to say, "Hey, insert first name." Did you know first name that our webinar is coming up? First name, and first name. Here's something that's very special. First name. Yeah, that's what we get. We get those. Sharon and I are we don't just delete all of the spam that we get. We grade it.
Yeah.
We go through and look at it and see how it works. Get yourself interviewed. I think I have another slide here. Yeah. There are podcasts galore. And here's what you want to do. Here's the process. I want to make sure I don't have another slide there. Okay. Yeah, I'll put this one there. You don't just want to get on any podcast. You want to get on a podcast that your audience is listening to. Here's an example.
That makes sense, right?
We were asked to be on a podcast for Composites Weekly. It's a construction podcast. They talk about chemical stuff and stuff, building stuff. Look, I graduated high school chemistry because I made Dr. Crute laugh every day. That's probably why I got my B. I made him laugh a lot. So why would we want to be on Composites Weekly? Well, I asked the gentleman that runs it who listens to the podcast. He said, well, they're business owners. It's usually the owner of the business. They're small business owners, 20 and under employees generally. And as he started to go through who they were, I was like, well, wait a minute, that's exactly our target market. Oh my God, yeah, can we be on your podcast like every day? Every day that you do it. So for us, that being on that podcast is now sitting on the internet forever and ever, amen, waiting for our Harriets, our target, to listen to it. And we have an offer on there that brings them back to us. from that podcast, we were just asked to write an article on how businesses are doing with COVID and how to bounce back for a publication that's in the construction industry. And again, the people that read it are our target market. We don't usually go out and hunt for that industry, but it came to us as we tossed out our net into the world. So think about who your period is, who your target is, and find podcasts that talk to that market. Let's give an example. Cindy, one of our clients from Friedman Crusett Financial Services, FCFSAZ.com, is on this webinar. She wants to be on webinars that young professionals are listening to, because they need to start looking ahead, and they have some income. What's it called? Disposable income that they can start investing. So they can start investing. She wants to make sure that they know that she's out there. That's FCFSAZ.com. I always have to make sure I get those in the order. For, let's see, Jan Bick, I think, is listening today.
Yep.
She wants to get on podcasts, self-help podcasts. If somebody is watching is going to listen to podcasts about self-help, because she is a hypnotherapist, she wants to give them some hypnotherapy tips that, I might want to talk to her. So you're out there looking for podcasts that are going to have your target market, which is one of the reasons we just found the URL bestmarketingpodcasts.com, and that's going to forward to ours, so that when people are looking for marketing podcasts, they find us. By the way, that's another little tip: find the right vanity URL that talks to your people. I need to stop giving that one out, because it's going to be that tip out, because it's going to be harder and harder for me to find the right URL. Hi, my name's Hank. I'm a URLaholic. Yeah, hi, Hank. So get on those podcasts. Now, here's how you do it. Ready? Take us down. Do we want on your website? You want to have a media page, and it isn't open to the public. It's
not on the menu.
No, it's not on the menu. You know, where it says home, about, blog, services, contact. There isn't a button that says media. It's an interior page that has like your URL/media. Now, on that media page, you have about 12 questions that someone could ask you about what you do and the answers. You don't want those answers to be way too long, because if somebody has a podcast, it's their podcast, and they want to talk a little bit on their own podcast. So your answers have to be short enough to allow them interaction with you, but long enough to give the answer. So however you want to define that, just know. One of the reasons that we want to see the answers to the questions that we send out for our podcast, our Viewcast, is that if somebody's going to be on the marketing checklist Viewcast, and if you want to see it, go to theviewcast.com. We have 7 minutes and 21 seconds to interview them, because our interviews are 7 minutes, 21 seconds. We needed them to be under 10 minutes to hold people's attention. So if somebody gives us paragraphs long for their answers, they're not going to be on the podcast, because we know there's no way in heck we're gonna hit 7:21. We've only had to stop one of them and restart, because I asked way too many questions outside. That's how that works. So be on those. Now, once you're on them, you want, and I want to see if I'm, sorry about that. Once you're on the podcast, once you've been interviewed, you want to share those links out to your social media, and it doesn't mean you do it once. We have shared this one. We were interviewed by Kevin Harrington. We've shared the link to this over and over. I mean, heck, when you get a shark from Shark Tank to interview you, you don't want to keep it a secret. In fact, this is on the front page of our website. But we share that link out from time to time so that we can use the search engine optimization of Shark Tank and Kevin Harrington to help people find little old me and her. So this is one of the benefits of getting onto podcasts. It's going to take a little bit of work. So, it's going to take, you're probably going to have to contact some of these folks more than once. So make a list and say, hey, the email, love to be on your podcast. Here are some questions you could ask. Here are the answers. And the media page also has photos of you so that they can link back and grab photos of you.
Podcasts are really popular right now. So folks that are running popular podcasts get overwhelmed with people asking to be on their podcast. So there is a currently recommended templated email sort of thing to send. If you want that, Hank's going to give you at the end a way to connect with us. And when we have that call, just ask us for that email template, and we'll give that to you.
Cool. Get personal. Really personal. We talked about these little phones. One of the things that, make sure I have the bonus is coming. One of the things that Sharon and I will do, in fact, we used to do this when we would go to baseball games. The fourth inning was text day. We would go through our phones, go through our contacts, scroll through, wow, I haven't sent Bailey an email in a while. I haven't connected with Barry Walsh in a while. I should send them a text. Hey, Barry, thinking of you. Hope you're having a great day. In fact, I'm going to do that when next time you talk. I am going to send that to Barry just because we just haven't connected in a long time. So this is just a way of keeping in touch, saying hi. We're not going to send a special out. We're just making contact. That's all we want to do. Remember, you're on social media a lot. The first word in social media is social. We are social animals. We want to do that. Now, something else that Sharon and I use a system called send out cards, where we mail real greeting cards. We go online, we set it up, and do it. We're not going to try and sell that. If you'd like to send a couple of free cards out, connect with us, and we'll let you mail out a couple of free cards to people that are important to you. And all you're doing is saying, hey, hope you're having a great day. You're a really special human being. You should talk about the bonus.
We were at a chamber networking thing, obviously pre-COVID, and one of the bankers there, Mark with Country Bank, was there, and he got tired of people saying, "Hey, you're from the bank. You got free sample?" And so he went to the vault, got a bunch of $2 bills, put them in envelopes, and wrote free sample on them. So when someone was being snarky, he could say, "Actually, I do here." And Hank thought that was really cool. And he actually posted on social media and tagged the bank, and he got a lot of play from that. So that was very cool. And then we were at a completely different chamber networking event, different chamber, different kind of event. And Jason did something similar, right? So he had a more of a rack card, and he attached a $2 bill. People keep $2 bills. So
they really do.
They think it's cool, and they don't spend them. Generally, they keep them. So it's a one way to make you stand out.
So, kind of fun. By the way, I just sent that text message just because.
Thank you.
Barry.
Thank you.
All right, bonus time. Have a super spectacular offer. We alluded to this
A couple times.
Yeah, for the big old cash machine. But have some really neat thing that you can offer somebody. It doesn't mean give away the store, but you want to have that super special thing. And we're going to give you a couple of examples of how we do this, and you can do this as well. So you've just learned 11 ways to get past myths to get your phone to ring. So let's talk about what to do next. If you had a breakthrough today, if you learned something new, that's awesome. If you want some more, here's the number one thing you should do is understand that there are a lot of things that you can do that require zero talent that set you apart. This list is on our Facebook page almost every week. We repost this little meme because
you can find the photos.
Yeah,
easily.
You'll notice that we started on time. We respected the people that were here early. You expected us to get started at 10, so we started at 10. We didn't say, oh, we're just going to wait another 10 minutes, because that's not fair to the people that show up early and make sure they are. So being reliably on time. Make sure you're coachable. By the way, you are. You came here to get some info. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Good job. We try and go the extra mile, and you're going to see how we do that in a moment, because there's very little traffic on that extra mile. If you're going above and beyond for your clients, and have that honest conversation with yourself, when we ask people what sets you apart, quite often we'll say, well, I give great service. And understand, if we had all of you close your eyes and everybody raise your hand if you give great service, you'd all raise your hand, because nobody says I give crap service and I'm the most expensive option. It just doesn't happen. So that doesn't really set you apart, and
it doesn't make you unique in the sense that, remember at the very beginning of the webinar, Hank talked about what's unique about you and to be different. So in order to find out that you give great service, you have to first be different and attract that attention, and then someone will realize that you give great service.
Yep, that is the whole point of that. And again, this is free. It's free to do any
of these 11 things on your screen right now.
Aw, I got a message back from Barry.
Cool.
That's cool. He was when I met Barry, he was a lieutenant commander in the U.S. Naval Reserve. And because of him, I got to go on a couple of different Navy ships. It was really awesome. Oh,
I did not.
Teleworking from home. Oh, how awesome. See? And all I did, I reached out. We haven't talked to Barry in
a year?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
See, we had dinner with him and his wife. So now I'm just able to reach out to a friend who I really care about. So that texting thing, try it. Go through your phone. This will put a smile on your face faster than many things, so especially right now.
Yeah.
Number 2, you should be using a CRM system. It stands for Customer Relationship Manager.
There are many out in the world.
Yep. We're not going to. We used to use one that was kind of pricey. We found another one that works really well. There are dozens and dozens and dozens. Most of them have a free option that allows you to try them. What a CRM helps you sort all of your contacts, and when you're doing many of these things, the cash machine and such, it allows you to find out who's opened your emails real easily. It lets you know. You can set reminders on a really good one. It'll set your calendar up and say, welcome to Thursday. You have these 12 people to call. Welcome to Friday. Here are the 6 people that are on your list to call today. And it electronically sorts out your sales system.
The best ones are ones that have a CRM with the autoresponder built in, so that you can segment. Remember I said that we send out emails about webinars to those that told us they want to know about our webinars. Well, if we had them all in one list and they didn't want to receive the webinar emails, they would unsubscribe, and they would unsubscribe from everything, not just the webinars. Whereas if we can segment, if we have an autoresponder that's connected with our CRM, then we can segment so that you want to hear about webinars, but you don't want to hear about the blogs, for example.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're unsubscribing, you're only unsubscribing from that portion of the list, not from everything. And a good CRM will have them connected, so that you don't have 2 different systems, one for emailing and having to track, okay, well, who read them, and are they interested in that thing, webinars versus blogs, as an example, and then have to go someplace else to find out how to contact them. That just is blah.
So if you when we chat later on, if you want some examples of some of these, we can connect you with a couple. There are some that are really good, and in fact, there are some that there might be 1 or 2 for your specific industry. Always check that out. Third, make sure that you have your in-depth marketing plan done, and follow it.
Don't just leave it on the shelf.
Yeah.
And then wonder why nothing's getting any better, right? You have to actually implement, even if you have to course correct, right? You had planned to make X calls in a week, and life got in the way and you only made Z calls. So you may need to make some course adjustments along the way. That's fine, but don't just leave your plan on the shelf and never look at it.
Yeah. If you need help in putting that together, we talk about a lot of different parts of the marketing plan during every month. If you want to see what other webinars we're doing, we do a bunch of them. Yourmarketingadvisor.com we'll have the list. We'll have August up. Give me a day. I almost finished it. We'll be talking about SEO next month for the first time. We'll be talking about a bunch of cool stuff. We're going to have a social media day. So all sorts of neat stuff. You have to take immediate action, and I'll give you an example. While we were talking, I realized that I have to put up the next episode of the marketing checklist viewcast. So I wrote myself a note, put up marketing checklist viewcast, put up the new one. So when we're done here, I will go and I will make the next episode pop up. Making a list of things you want to do is great, but taking immediate action will make you feel wonderful when you check that off your list. We're in a couple of mastermind groups, and when we're done, we go through our list, that we've created in the course of 2 days. I'll have pages of notes. We list, okay, what are the 12 most important things? Because if we were going to do one a month, that's a year's worth. What are the 3 most? That's the first quarter. And then we look at our list and agree on, okay, what's the most important thing that we need to do now? And that list will change from time to time. Long story made really short. This book was going to come out in last September. And I got into a coaching discussion with another coach. She isn't our coach, but we're both in the mastermind. And because of her input, we had a lot to do to get that book done, and so that moved from like number 5 on the list to number 1. And of all of our books, this is the only one that has ever come out like early, because we made the list of what's important and we took immediate action to make sure that it did happen, which made me feel really good. So here are 3 things we want to give you for free to make all of this happen for you. The first is a 30-minute consultation. You get 30 minutes. Anything you talked about here or anything about your business. If you go to freemarketingconsultation.com, you're going to have a few easy questions to answer, and it pops you right into our calendar. Most businesses report back that this was worth at least $10,000 either in increased sales or we saved them money on things that they were doing just by going through what their process is. So grab free marketing consultation. You're going to get that. When you do that, you're going to get our free report that Sharon talked about earlier. And I'm going to add something else. You're going to get the choice of any of our books. If you do that, say, hey, I want one of your books, we'll send you one of our books just for doing that.
And the template email for the podcast if you want that.
Yep, so you're getting a lot of free stuff. That's cool. We like giving away stuff. We also have our new boot camp in September. If you'd like a free ticket, you can do that. In fact, I'll give you, I'm going the wrong way on my slides. I am sorry. At our boot camps, we talk about how new and repeat buyers will magnetically be attracted to you because you're giving out the right messages. And you're learning to avoid the biggest mistakes that everyone makes when they're presenting their products or ideas or services. And we talk about sales from a very ethical point of view. We don't want to teach you how to be a salesperson that's just out there for a sale. We want you to find the right people and offer your services to the right folks at the right time. So that's the boot camp. If you want a free ticket, all you have to do is go to planyourmarketing.com and all the details there, and you can sign up. Use either the December 10 class or the September 24 class. It's one of those 3 days. Don't take the one in the middle because
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, when we set these up, we were going to be doing them in person in Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Sedona. Then this little thing called COVID hit. And honestly, we weren't quite sure. And then the Tournament of Roses canceled the Rose Parade, and we looked at each other, and, if they're not going to do a Rose Parade in January, then we're really not going to do a Small Business Breakthrough Bootcamp live in person.
And if the baseball teams can't figure out how to keep COVID out of the baseball team, we can't keep it out of a ballroom.
We want to keep you safe,
Yeah.
and we want to build your business. Now, why is this free? Great question. We get half of our referrals from people that have been to our boot camp, and they tell their friends about us. So we want to basically give you a free marketing plan so that you can tell your friends about us. That's kind of important to us. It's important to our business, so that's why it's free. So you get it at planyourmarketing.com. All right. So what you need? If you need it now, who has a question?
I got nothing. So either click that Q&A button and we will unmute you, or you can type it into the chat and I'll read it out loud. Or there you go. That's what we have.
Yep.
So we'll give you a moment to find the button or to type it in. I know some typers are slower than I am. Here. Okay. LJ, 1 second. Let me unmute you. There we go. Oh, headset.
Oh, shoot. Yes, sorry. Go for it.
All right,
what's the
LJ,
question?
We're listening.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can.
Okay. This might not be for this webinar, but if I'm a small business just getting started, what would you recommend?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Where would you say to start for that? Well, like there's so much in the marketing realm. Where would I even go?
Okay. So first, let's take a deep breath. Ready?
Thank you.
Don't forget to exhale.
Yes.
The exhaling part is really important.
Yeah. Even if you make a mistake, it's correctable, so don't worry about it. Tell us, what kind of business is it? What's your business? LJ?
It's in the fitness industry.
Okay. Are you
Can
doing
you hear
the
me?
fitness stuff, or are you sell? Yes, we can. Are you doing the fitness stuff, or are you selling a product to them?
I would be teaching them, and in this world that we're in now, it's going to be outdoors.
Oh, how awesome! Do you want to give yourself a shameless plug?
Well, it's still in the process. I haven't actually started yet. So
do you own the URL? Do you own the website name?
No. I only own my own name as my website at this point.
Way to go! You own your name. That's awesome.
Yep.
Good job. Because look, you're the brand. You're going to be the brand,
Okay.
so you have to own your name. That's awesome. Well done.
Have you named? Don't say it yet. But just this, yes or no. Have you named the business?
In my own self, yes, but I haven't registered.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't say that one out loud. Then.
Before you asked what to do first. So here's what you do first. Before you get attached to the name, make sure that you can find it .com and only .com.
For example, if you thought, well, here's the reason is, if you were to go to, if we told you to go to Walmart.net, you'd probably go to Walmart.com because most everybody just types in .com automatically.
They don't even think about it.
They don't. So if there's somebody that is doing what you do and they have this really great name, they've got the really great name, .com, and they're going to get 80% of the traffic no matter what. So we want to make sure that it's good. In fact, if you want to talk about this later a little bit, we can have a chat and I can direct you to that because I'm really good at getting URLs. Also, you want to make sure that your Facebook page, the name is available on Facebook.
Okay.
And all of the social medias that you are going to want to be on.
Probably Instagram, probably Pinterest.
So it all matches.
Because yes, we want them all to match.
And we want to make sure that no one else has already claimed it.
Yep. What's the website where you can check? It's check. CHK.
You know what? I'm going to do it right now.
You look it up. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, it's kind of cool. We love getting people at the beginning because we don't
have to undo a bunch of mistakes.
No kidding.
Name check.
Name check. NAM.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay. It's going to be in the chat.
I want to make sure I got it right before
that website lets you check
URLs and all the various social medias. so that you don't have to like go to every single social media channel and try it out and see what happens. It's going to tell you. It's not foolproof. We won't give you a absolute 100% guarantee, but it is better than having to go social media channel by social media channel.
So let's go through a real quick exercise. Your target market, mostly men or mostly women?
Mostly women.
Think? Awesome. Good job. You were able to pick. Way to go. So many people say, well, it's 50-50 because they don't want to hedge their bet. Awesome. Do you have an idea of their age range within like 15 years? Like, is it, are you trying to get 25
to 40?
Okay. Cool. Good
Instagram.
job. Instagram, definitely going to have to be there.
Exactly.
And here's your Instagram tip. Videos, both in the feed and in the stories. Videos. Not long, short videos. And in Instagram, you want to lead them to a direct message. So you, by all means, you're going to put the URL and all of that in your bio, and you can say link in bio. That's great, but really lead them to a direct message. Direct message me for whatever. Schedule time to know when the next video is, whatever it is that your call to action is. But that's the tip for Instagram. Direct message.
All right. What city are you planning on doing this in?
I currently live in Santa Barbara, so I'm going to start here since we're not traveling anywhere.
Right.
Santa Barbara, one of my favorite places.
Is the university open near you yet?
I don't believe so. They're online.
Okay. Are they opening in the fall? Have they said anything?
I think some classes, yes.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. So if you're going to be doing them in person, then you're going to also want to make sure that you grab your Google My Business page.
Yes.
Okay.
But
all of this is after you've done the name.
You're going to need your name first, because if you want people to find you, they're going to be searching in Google and they're going to be looking for fitness person that does this, specializes in this. And your Google My Business is going to be really important because Google checks all of the Google My Businesses when they're doing a Google search. And what's cool, and this is what will set you apart from all of the other trainers, post there every day, just like you would on your social media, because most everybody doesn't.
Now, you're not going to post there. On social media, you post for engagement, right? On Google My Business, you're just pushing out. So you're not trying to get engagement on Google My Business, but you do want to give information.
So we've given you several steps to take.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're gonna do this outside. Have you picked the location where you want to do this outside? You don't need to give it. That's just a yes or no.
No, I'm looking at the permit options.
There we go. Yeah, make sure. Yeah,
so
great point. Good job.
Given the demographic of the ages, the first thing that comes to my mind now, Santa Barbara is small, and yet I get that it's also as geographically large as well. So I get that. But the thought that came to mind, given your age demographic, is even though classes may not be happening on campus, is there a place where you could do your fitness classes on campus outside? It's just a beautiful location, and given your demographic, that might be attractive to them. Just a thought.
In fact, you may want to do a program with the college and say, you know what, I would love to offer this for this class for your professors in exchange for letting me do this on campus.
Oh, wonderful!
So it might be a way of trading. Don't know, but either
can't hurt to ask, right? If you don't ask, the answer is no. So can't hurt to ask.
And if the UC doesn't do it, you might want to check with some private schools.
Right.
Okay.
They're a smaller business, and they might be able to make that decision faster and easier.
Especially if they're not having the kids come on campus, right? If they're still doing remote only.
So I have a couple of questions. How did you find out about the webinar today?
Score.
Awesome. I love Score.
Yeah.
They're cool. Next question. Are you going to go to free marketing consultation?
I guess so.
And are you going to get a ticket?
I have them all written down. There were a bunch of different.
There you go. Cool.
Your marketing advisor, free marketing.
So there's your start. it is going to start with the name, so make sure you have that URL. It's okay to have your name as well. You know, if you went to hankuloff.com or sharonuloff.com, it probably brings you to our coaching page. But the company name is going to be really important, so you want to make sure that you've got that locked down.
And it's not that the company name has to be the same as the URL. It just makes it easier to remember and to make everything consistent, right? We know companies, especially small businesses, not so much the big businesses, where their URL is different than their company name, and then when you pay by credit card, they have to tell you you're going to see this name on your credit card statement. It just makes things a little more confusing. So it doesn't have to be. They don't have to be the same, but it does make it easy, especially if you're just starting. It just makes it easier for you.
And I have something else that's really important. I don't want to say the name of any companies, all right? When you're searching for your URL, I want you to do it don't say anything. I want you to do it at a very specific place. Write down
I'm gonna write it.
whois.com, WHOIS.com.
Okay. You don't have to buy it there.
You don't have
Just
to buy it
search
there. There are companies that sell URLs. Some of them will look at the searches that people are making, and if they look at it and then don't buy it, sometimes they buy it and put it on sale for more. Whois.com does not do that. I'm not going to say which companies do. I'm just telling you that Whois doesn't.
You can buy it wherever you bought your name already. That's totally fine.
Yep.
Just make sure that you're searching at Whois.
Yeah, if you bought it, for example, HostGator or any number of other cheap URLs or something, you can buy it anywhere. But just make sure, if you want to make sure it's available, then just Whois is the easiest,
safest place
to search. I think Network Solutions is still safe, but I just know that Whois is completely safe that way, and they don't do the search and buy things. So no sense having your name coming back for $5,000 when you've decided on it
instead of 10.
Yeah. So there you go. You now have your assignment.
Thank you so much.
Oh gosh, yes. Glad to do that. Glad to help. Any other questions?
No one else has typed into the chat.
Okay.
And no one else has yet.
Cool. Well, guess what? I think we are done for the day then.
Well, with the webinar.
We're done for the webinar. Yeah, I
we are so not done
I
today.
saw a list of things.
Yes.
So there you go. Thanks for being on, everyone. We do appreciate it. Make sure you go back to SCORE and check out. They have a whole lot of webinars that are awesome. Make sure that you're going through their list. If you want some of the ones that we do outside of SCORE, it's yourmarketingadvisor.com. Go market your business. Remember, if everything happens for a reason,
be the reason things happen.
We will talk to you next time, everybody.